Let's drink beer. It makes my mind clear. It takes me away from here. Let's drink beer. And let's drink beer. Pump it up, lift it up, drink it up.
Welcome to the Art of Beer. Hey, what, Gooch? Let's drink some beers.
Let's go. First off, I gotta say though, there's something, you know, like, what? Just saying, bro. I'm here. Just. Okay, I'm good.
When your face is on a beer,
Yeah, dude,
you gotta call it a legend.
Hashtag legendary.
Yeah. How many people get their face on a beer?
Not me.
Yeah, not me.
Ooh, I do have my face on a barbecue bottle.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's good.
Not a beer.
Because people like put it on the meat.
And drink beer with it.
Yeah, you have to be 21 to buy my face. Anybody can buy you.
No one ever said I was hard to get.
All right, let's start with something that's kind of a beer. It starts off as a beer, but it takes a nice little turn.
Oh yes. This is the starter course.
This is
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, so within the restaurant industry, all the bar guys, we got a nice little thing we do. This is Stiegel Grapefruit Radler. Very delicious, nice. But we decided to church it up a little by adding some Campari, which is a bitter orange liqueur.
Taste the business. Oh.
Yeah.
Here.
It's so basically a radler or a shandy. You've probably heard them both ways. They take like a light beer. In Germany, normally like a Hef. In other parts, it could be like a light lager. So this one's from Austria. And then they mix it with some sort of citrus soda. So lemon, grapefruit. Stiegel Grapefruit Radler is obviously great. Grapefruit, low alcohol, super refreshing. But the trick is to add a little Campari.
Little Italian bitter orange liqueur.
Yep. So cheers. Thanks for
yeah.
coming on.
All
Yep,
along.
yeah.
Sorry it took so long.
And the other trick is pick your favorite, spirit. You want to add a little Kohana rum. You want to add a little tequila. You want to add a little bourbon.
Mezcal goes great.
Yes.
Oh, this is great for a hot day.
Yes.
Just
So we're sitting down today. We're joined by Chef Mark Noguchi, affectionately known as Gooch to everyone around. So welcome to the show, Chef.
Hey, Mahalo for having. Appreciate it. It's been a long time. Yeah.
So we talk a lot about beer. What's your story with beer? Obviously, green bottles and Bud Lights in the beginning. But
No, so green bottles gives me like gnarly gas. So just don't ever put a green bottle in front of me. But I grew up, my father grew up drinking Olympia and then Coors. Me being like a second generation Japanese, I drink the champagne of local Japanese men, Bud Light. You can
bucket ice though.
But always bucket.
Always.
Yeah. And now, sorry Eric, but I pour my Hanale in a bucket of ice. I still do it.
Hey,
shout out to Kona. They're
all
friends.
of us born and raised or living here a
hot
long
here.
time. There's no hate for bucket ice. That's a cultural thing. That's
Coors Light,
It's like-
couple
and
ice
people-
cubes.
Yeah, and people look at you funny, but it's like, that's like you said, it's cultural, it's generational. It's what my grandfather did, it's my father did. When you go hang around with all your uncles at the golf course, that's what they all do, right? After 18 holes.
It's just a new generation now. They put it in a Yeti cup and they put the ice.
Yeah,
Before, it
and,
was always
yeah.
a short glass.
Short
and
glass.
You just keep filling with ice and you keep pouring.
Oh yeah. For mainlanders, bucket is short glass.
Yeah, but you got to keep yourself cold because it's like.
Wait, hold on. Bucket is not universal?
No.
It's a double. It's a.
Neither is green bottle. You order a green bottle on the mainland, and I was
yeah.
gonna look at you like.
This is a double old fashioned on the mainland.
Yeah.
Thank you for educating me, Mr. Rizdi. No, it makes sense now because back in the day at town, one of the waitresses I asked for, it was like one of the beer Maui or something, bucket of ice, and she brought me a wine
She went
bucket.
to the ice machine.
She brought me a wine bucket. And I was like, she messing with me?
My first bartending job in La Hui. I'm working. It's a busy night. We're getting roped, and server comes by and she's like, "Can I get a bucket or get a bucket of ice?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so I find another server and is like, "Can I get a bucket of ice?" And so she brings me a bucket of ice, and I was like, it was this like super awkward moment. We all realized that we were speaking different languages.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Because,
Everything just got explained.
It all makes sense.
you know that old dog, new tricks.
Yeah.
There you go, bucket of ice.
I was a younger dog back then.
Yeah. I was referring to me, but I appreciate it. This is yummy.
What do you think? Great, right?
This is yummy.
Right. So a lot of people don't like Campari. It's a real, it's
bitter,
an aggressively bitter orange liqueur. And it's all about what you put in it.
Only sexy people drink Campari.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's why it's just this table is full of sexy.
There you go.
But at this drink at its base is a style of, it's beer with additives, but it on its own is fantastic. It's something really crushable, and you can find it's widespread. It's.
I was gonna say, where can the average person get it?
They
Village Bottle Shop.
Yeah,
Village Bottle Shop.
Yeah, we
Right.
got
But
Nice
you
job.
can find it everywhere.
Finer wine stores.
Village Bottle Shop.
Yeah.
So talking about Village, we gotta go and take a run over to Village Bottle Shop and grab some more because I think we're out of Radler. We're gonna come back in like 2 minutes because Dave runs really fast. We'll see you then.
Bringing you what matters. Viewers can receive the Star Advertiser digital full access subscription for just $9.95 per month. Go to staradvertiser.com and click on subscribe. Use the code AHITHING.
How's it, guys? Welcome back. We're with Chef Mark Noguchi, and we're gonna crack open a couple more beers. So let's bust open that Maui Pueo.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go Pueo Pale Ale.
There we go. Crack that one open. We're on the table.
Model.
No. Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
You guys gotta watch us drink,
That's so good.
Now, we wanted to get a bunch of local stuff going in. We're sitting with Gooch, and the amount of things he does within our local communities. I don't know how you have the time. Honestly, every time I turn around, you're doing something else, and they're all bangers. So how did you get the ball rolling with where you just started?
It is, it's a husband and wife. If anyone meets Amanda, then they get it. Me, I'm a racquetball down a hallway. He's like, but and Amanda has systems. But I think the kicker was that when we first started dating, it was the first time that I ever was really digging like a holy girl. The first time ever, and I think that, and we talked about it early in the relationship. It was hard. We're on the same page, but we're speaking different languages. And when growing up in Hawaii, we take it for granted that you just click and you get it. And so we went through this period of trying to figure out who we were together and separately and where we wanted to go. And then we, then it started picking up steam. And then we started really getting it and understanding each other and figuring out how to meet each other where, in the middle. And then, certainly, right, we started with Pili Group, which is the umbrella company of all of our restaurants.
Wait, what does Pili mean?
Pili means to be interconnected or intertwined. Pili grass. Yep. Pili grass. If you look at the seeds, the seed stalk is woven like this. It goes like that. So it is a perfect, a physical representation of the word Pili. And so with us, we figured out that the very basic community, education, and food. So those three things need to be working together for us to work with our clients. So even if you hired, and you hired me to do an event, I'd be asking questions like, what's your earliest childhood memory of food? What's your tutu's favorite dish? And things like that. And I will make your menu off of your memories and things like that. And that's kind of how we rolled. And then, to answer your question on how we balance everything, it's all about communication. We have an amazing team who've been with us forever. And, Amanda and I, we got to work hard. It's a ton of work. It's okay, baby, you get 10 minutes. Or even before I came on, I was checking in with one of our other teammates. And then that's just how it rolls. And then we do everything together. Freaking everything. So, yeah.
No, I try to meet up with you, and you're like, well, I've got my meeting with Amanda at 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can fit you in.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm genuine about it. And sometimes, you know, and I don't mean to sound ho'okano or stuck up about it, but people are like, hey, can you do this? Can we meet up for this? I'm like, and it's like April. I'm like, how's May 3rd? And they're like, seriously? I'm like, I'm sorry. You know,
I mean, but I do like how your approach to things you're talking about. If you were going to do an event, what's your memories of food and stuff like this? And follow that. One of the things I love about the things you do, you always say cook your heritage, right? Yeah. And I took an online class where we were the no,
yeah.
And you taught 2 of the classes, and you were just pulling out of your fridge, and then you made a sauce. You're like, my dad used to make this sauce, and we were dipping ulu in it, right? And so that just resonates with me. It's like you keep just staying to who you are, you know, and just remembering where you came and just keeping it up.
I think that's the cool thing of like growing up in Hawaii. Like everybody's different, right? Like everybody has multiculturals, right? And it's like I grew up like Italian, Irish, but I grew up here. So like what I ate at home was different than what you ate at home.
Right.
But then when I went, like if I were to sleep over at your house, then all of a sudden I'm eating what you guys ate.
Chicken heka or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Chicken heka.
And then holiday time when you go party.
Yeah.
And you see all of our cultures on that table.
Yes.
Bruh!
Hey, but we drank the same beer. Whatever was in the cooler, whatever was in the cooler is what we drank. And that brought it
Connected
all
us.
together.
That was the pili.
That was the pili.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the pili.
And that's what a lot of people like when they're trying to figure out Hawaii. Like they don't like that's kind of common thread, right? Like there's so much going on, and it's like it's all intertwined. But
Here's a good one. On the continent, people identify themselves.
we're gonna have to hold down real quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll keep getting into this.
Get your house in order. Visit hificu.com and download the Ho'okele guidebook today.
Welcome back to the Art of Beer, guys. We've got Chef Mark Noguchi. He does more things on this island than anybody I know. Always trying to give back to the community. Oh, simmer down, Chef. You know what you're doing.
I've never heard you say my name that formally in my life before.
Let's crack this Punahou beer.
All right.
We
Here,
left off.
drink some more beer.
We were
Yes,
talking
chef.
about chicken heka, and we were just all on the break talking about like chicken heka, and like David never heard of chicken heka, but like we
fond
grew up,
memories of chicken heka.
me too. And it was always a special family dish where you get together and you make a big dish of chicken heka.
Yep.
Talk about
Big ass
chicken.
pot.
And it's one of those dishes like people don't make it anymore.
No.
How come? Like what is it?
You know, I think that those sort of heritage dishes, they're disappearing. I mean, you know, our society, in today's society, we just move so much faster. You're looking on Instagram, you're trying to find a newest place, the hottest restaurant, and we forget those dishes that tie us, that tie us through lineage, tie us to where we come from. And I think that that's really important. You know, we always talk about cooking your heritage. The diaspora here in Hawaii is amazing, you know, and I don't necessarily, I know when like us guys growing up, not trying to alienate you, but you know, us guys growing up here, it was that, you know, Hawaii, everybody talks about Hawaii being the melting pot. But why take these amazing cultures and homogenize them into like, right? It's like a beautiful plate lunch, right? Where you got your mac salad and you got your mac salad and your scoop rice and your luau stew, and you have all these components, and you got your pickles on the side. All of those separately are amazing. But when they all come together in perfect harmony and you eat them and you take a bite of that luau stew and then you scoop into the mac salad and then you take a little bit of pickle, you put the chili pepper water on top. It's ethereal. And that's what we are!
No, but even to that point, so my family was Hawaiian, Portuguese, and Haole. And we were rocking out big things of chicken heka, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what we were, a local family, and my uncle used to make giant walks of it, and not only our family would be there, but the whole neighborhood was invited, you know, and that is Hawaii cooking. You didn't do anything small, you did it in big portions.
Wait, just real fast.
Yeah.
Chef, my mom's watching.
Yeah.
She lives in Michigan.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what
Hi, Auntie.
Gooch, my mom's watching.
In
too.
the 10 seconds, how do you make chicken heka?
Okay, so you just take whatever's in your refrigerator, okay, and you take some onions and garlic, you saute it in a big like a wok or a pot, and then you can hit it with some sake. This is my way, and the beautiful thing about Hawaii is that everybody's ohana will tell you that, you know, their family made the best beef stew or heka. They didn't. It was my family. I'm just saying. So you take onions and garlic, you know, the sake, and you build it with like mirin, shoyu, dashi, a little bit sugar, and you throw in. Gotta have the takenoko. Gotta have takenoko. You can do like chicken or pork. Taro shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegetable you got in your refrigerator.
Watercress.
You see what I mean? Watercress.
All right.
Yeah. It's Hawaii's like soup stew. You know. It's
Chicken soup for.
It's chicken. Yeah. It's
Chicken
Hawaii's.
soup stir fry.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
It is.
But it's
I always said lazy man sukiyaki.
lazy man sukiyaki is perfect.
Rice.
Yeah.
Always with rice.
Yeah. And it's hot. He comes off of it and he gets that whatever smell off of the wok.
Yeah.
That's the key. Like you gotta have a hot wok.
And then you gotta have Bud Light bucket ice with it.
You gotta have something crispy and
No,
cool.
but that's no joke. It's
What
you
are we-
didn't gather everybody
right.
together.
Maybe
to
instead
just
of Bud
eat
Light,
food,
we
you
do-
had beers as well.
Yeah.
And then that's what we're doing here. We're
What are
talking
we
about-
drinking? Because
we're
this
gonna
is
go
perfect with
ahead-
heka.
Right.
Chase Joyce Lightning. It's a pale lager that they make. And
Here's
it's
to Joyce
fantastic.
Lightning.
Cheers.
How does Hanako come up with their names? They're so creative and smart.
They're so
Their
good at what they
labels,
do.
their names. I mean, it's
It's actually exciting.
what?
It's all over the place. They do sales contests. Their bartenders name beers. They do beers that are collaborations. They just got a huge national beer, like breweries all over the country make a beer to donate to some like domestic, either locally domestic violence shelters, things that are helping people locally around their neighborhood or larger corporation that's doing things. They're just doing really great things. So
That's cool.
It's like what you do with food. You take the gifts that you have and the things that you do and you give it back to the community as much as you can. That's what those guys are doing.
It's the same thing. We talk about community and collaboration and doing things together. They do things with other groups, other people, and same like how we do food, we bring groups together. I mean,
Yeah,
things
it's
like that.
smart, it's yummy,
There's
it's
a-
fun. Like it hits all these points of what you want to do. You know.
Smart,
It was
yummy,
great.
fun.
Smart,
Those
yummy,
sound like
fun.
really good things to come back to. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Homeworld, locally owned and quality brands. Let us help you create your perfect home. Beachside Roofing, the leaders.
Back again with Chef Mark Noguchi. Gooch. We're gonna keep drinking beer because that's what we
Why
do.
not?
Let's open that Ola Kiave Vanilla.
Yes.
Oh,
Get some Big Island beer. Yes.
Have you guys gone to the Hilo spot yet?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
How's it?
It was right next door to my very first place of employment in Hilo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, KWXX.
So how did you? Cheers first. How did you get into cooking? Like, what was your like genesis or like getting into like food and cooking aside from like family, right?
So, one of my very first cooking jobs, I actually got fired from. It was at I answered a want ad. I answered a want ad in the Hilo paper for Bamboo Garden. Bamboo Garden was this Korean bar in Hilo, and what happened was Mama-san's lead cook got hurt or something. He was out for months. And so I answered the ad, and she's, do you cook? And I'm like, no, And she said, well, I need someone. Can you work hard? I'm like, yeah, I can work hard. And I remember, I would burn water. And Mama-san would go to Costco every Sunday and come back, and then I would meet her at her bar, help her put everything. And she had 3, the double door reach-in freezers. She had 3 of them. This is for a little ass, bar the size of this room. And you just take stuff out and you cook it. I didn't know how to make this is before social media. I didn't know how to make sweet and sour meatballs. I knew how to make edamame at that. And she would scream at me every night. And her boyfriend at the time would always tell her, he'd be like, babe, the boy works so hard just to make you happy. Just you cut him a break. But she tried, but she kept me on for 4 months, and then that was it. But during that time, I actually used to hula and play music. And hula took me all around the world. And growing up in Hawaii, it's easy to only think that only us guys here are as passionate about food. And realizing that you travel the way that when you travel, and people would come out and they'd bring food. And the way that they just like wanted to feed you. And every time like, after a show, I remember it in Arizona, we performed at Gamage, and this Hawaiian family drove like 12 hours to come see us, but then also brought like an entire truck full of food, Hawaiian food. And you know, they're joking like they had a bag of frozen poi for like 4 months that they were just waiting to share. And it was amazing, and something in me at that time kind of clicked. And realizing that food brings us together. So fast forward, and in Halau Kekuhi, you only become a kumu if you're a kanakole, which obviously I wasn't. And then what?
In the hula school, you only become
A kumu
if you
are the family of the kanakole family.
Just for the.
Sorry. I apologize. Yeah.
We have viewers that are not from Hawaii.
Sorry. Okay. So in a hula group, a halau, you can uniki or graduate to become a teacher or a kumu. In our halau in Hilo, the only way that you became a kumu or a teacher was if you were a kanakole. And so, in this discussion, with some friends one day, and my buddy Kinohi was like, "Oh, what you been up to?" And we had just come back from a 2-year tour, all over the place, living out of a suitcase, living the whole life. And I remembered at that moment starting to think that maybe hula wasn't gonna be my life, because prior to hula, I didn't give a rip about anybody but me. Hula was the first thing that I poured my heart and soul into. It was the first thing that I gave something of myself to something that was other than me. And I remember Kinoe, when he asked me, I said, "Brock, I gotta tell you, man, I don't know if hula's gonna be forever." But this guy, he's like, "You ever thought about being a chef?" And we're at KCC, and I was like, what? And he goes, "You ever thought about being a chef?" He goes, "You're always cooking at the parties." I'm like, no. And because we're at KCC, it was like, KCC is a culinary school.
Program.
Right. And I'm like, bro, only dorks go to cooking school. Come on. But he was, I don't know why, he was persistent. He was just like, no, you should think about it. I ended up talking to Lori Maihara. We talked for like 2 hours. And then years later, I found out that the only reason why Lori was at her office that day was she left her keys there. So no, she wasn't even supposed to be there that day. And I ended up talking to this counselor. She like slides this application across. She's like, Mark Noguchi, I don't know, but I have a feeling this might be good for you. And that was it. And that's why I ended up cooking. So for me, when I cook and I try to share it with, and you've heard me say this shit all the time, it's like, I try to share that loving where you're from, knowing where you come from, it builds this awareness and a respect for ingredients. And the way that with hula, if you are a lay person or if you're a hula person, you know where your favorite spot is to go pick liku. Driving along Hamaku coastline, you know where your favorite kukui trees are to make lei. And I think the same thing can, in the way that when I listen to all you guys, the way that I listen to Kyle Rautner talk about sugarcane, about coal, like I gotta take a cold shower afterwards.
Oh no, but so that same passion, yes, we agree. We have so many people we know, but the guys over at Olo Brewing Company, the ingredients that they put into this vanilla porter, they want that local Hawaiian vanilla. And it's the same thing. It's to highlight it in the harmony.
Well, it's the food. The food brings people together, right?
So
I guarantee this vanilla farmer showed up at the brewery.
And thank God for that vanilla farmer. And we're going to be right back. We're going to talk more about that in a second.
Yep. All right. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube channel. We are back with the Art of Beer. Make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the like button, ring the bell, all that good stuff. We're with Chef Mark Noguchi. Can't get this anywhere else. We're gonna crack open a couple more beers and keep shooting the shit.
Yeah. Oh, we can say shit now because it's the extended version.
That was the first time I swore all season.
All right, so what are we drinking then?
What should we crack open? Dave, your pick.
Oh man.
Let's go gigantic.
Let's go gigantic.
Let's go gigantic.
Let's go gigantic.
Boy, Ben.
If you guys don't know Ben Love, the majesty that is Ben Love, he is an amazing human. He is one of the founders. Stop rubbing my face. It's really weird.
I don't care about Dave Love. I know Dave Love. Just saying.
This is one of those beers that's just like, it's sort of a fascinating anomaly. The crazy thing about this beer,
Fascinating anomaly.
when they brew this beer, they only use light malts. And they have a unique brewery in that it is gas fired. And they cook this beer. We've talked about with a bunch of other brewers, and like usually you cook beer, you cook the malts for an hour or so. They boil this beer for 12 hours, and because it's gas fired, that little area right next to the edge inside of the kettle actually caramelizes the sugars. So this color all comes from just 12 hours of cooking.
The cooking time?
Cooking this beer, yeah. And there's a ton of malt in here. It is a big beer. What did we say this was?
Aromatic.
14.3%. And then this is the 2021. We probably should have laid this down for a little bit, although they're pretty good about laying them down.
They lay it down before you
Maybe
get it. Right?
This has been
We'll
aged.
call Ben and get some more.
Power for the uninitiated though, right? You said it's a light hop, so there's different kinds. Is light hop mean like color? Is it like what is the difference?
Light. It would be light color. Like light. Did I say hop? Light malt.
I think you said light. You said light something.
Light malt. So the hops would be like it'd be like making wet oatmeal. So it'd be like a lighter, whiter color. And if you just cooked it for a really long time on a gas fire and it just kept caramelizing and caramelizing and caramelizing, that's how you get this color. So it's usually you get this color from adding toasted malts. This is from
Straight cooking.
and these are great beers to collect. They're great beers to drink. The brewers are fantastic. It's just a fun beer.
You know, we keep talking about light, but this is not light.
By any
It's
means.
delicious.
No, this is a big beer.
It's almost chewy.
But I got to go a little bit lighter, and for this we got to pull in somebody from the outside. We got some daiquiris that are a little bit lighter in this, and we got to look to our friend Kyle on the couch for
Hey.
some daiquiris.
This would be awesome with like beef stew.
Yep. Pot
Oh,
roast.
thank you for the
Whoa!
Oh, daiquiris from the couch.
Pot roast.
Daiquiris from the couch.
And hopefully a returning role.
Thank
Kyle
you, sir.
on the couch, right where I belong.
We're gonna give
Thank you,
this.
sir.
Not much.
You're gonna get some
Gentlemen, I
gigantic.
hope the daiquiris
Take the
are
massive to the
delicious.
couch.
Can I? Oh no.
No, you can't have that.
Cheers,
Cheers.
everyone.
Cheering.
My favorite toast. What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed.
So you're talking about
Whoa.
Oh, it's so good.
That in the front. The
Oh yeah.
it's
It's pretty good.
Did you just make Mark's speech?
How many times has Gooch ever been speechless?
There's a yakisoba on the front end. That
That's an interesting take on it.
like the stir fry part.
Yeah.
It's kind of crisp. Like none of the dark stuff. It's not like the koge or the char, but it's like there's like a. That's cool. It's a yakisoba with taco.
We chase down the idea of a connection to memory, no matter what we do, whether you're cooking saimen or heka or whatever it is. The connection thing is what always matters, right? So whatever it is, whatever you're
Because
doing.
it hit me, right? It was just like, what the fuck you doing?
This is why we have a chef on our show, because he gives us things at his palate differently than
We would never.
that we would never come up with.
even
This
come
is that
to, like-
outside perspective that we like.
No, it's definitely that and the words that he teaches you, all those French words.
Like heck off.
Heka and yakisoba. and taco.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Oui.
We chef.
This is yummy. This is straight out of your guys' daiquiri mix.
It's so good.
It made me a cocktail expert.
Honey, you're gonna love.
We're gonna send some home for Amanda.
We just drank hers.
Sorry.
So would you pair yakisoba with this?
Totally, I'd be down. Cause this is also be good to like start the meal.
Yeah.
Why not start it with noodles?
I don't know.
Do I look like a salad guy to you?
Bruh, I'm not a salad guy either. I'll start any meal with noodles.
You know, when you work in like the higher end restaurants, and you do like amuse-bouche and you course all these things. I remember sometimes eating some of these amuse-bouche. I'm like, okay, I get it, but I like ramen already.
I need something real in front of me.
I always knew that. I always appreciated the discipline and the pressure cooker environment, and to be straight, like I also appreciated the abuse that you know, like the old generation of kitchens, because at the end of it, I was still standing. I'm like, "Frick, I can handle this." But you know, but like
Go through that, you can go through anything.
right, you go through that, you can go through anything. But I surely can appreciate. And so I always knew that style of food, while I appreciate the training, that wouldn't be my calling. You know, I'm a Simon and He'eia Pier, my first place.
Yeah.
Like we just pre-cakey, bro, it was pre-cakey days, and my wife always tell me, honey, your food is still amazing. I'm like, no, babe, I appreciate it. I got it, that's cool. But like we just cooked with such like no fucks given, abandon. You know what I mean? That
place was incredible though, because you had.
You remember we fed you on. I put a cutting board on the
cutting board. That's one of the greatest tables
and
I've
you
ever
stood
eaten.
in the corner. We
Yeah.
weren't even open yet.
You fried fish for me that was from Kaneohe Bay.
I made you like rubber dog shit katsu or something. I don't know.
By the
Maybe.
way, just to mention that Mark Noguchi at He'eia General Store was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Oh, with Guy.
Took Guy Fieri and he went down and got his own taco and came back and cooked it. I mean, just as cool as it fucking gets.
That was amazing. You know, that was a great time. It certainly taught me a lot. You know, and to be straight, yeah, there's things that, and I think for all of us, right? You know, even with like with your restaurant, I think that there are things that we did when we were younger that being older now you wouldn't. But at the same time too, when we were younger and all you did was cook or serve or make drinks, we did it.
But fucking fearless, man.
Fearless!
Because fuck.
Now it's like, oh shit, no, I cannot. I gotta take my daughter to school tomorrow. I mean, it is what it is.
Or you can't do shit because you're worried about fucking Yelp and Instagram and shit like that.
Fuck Yelp and Instagram.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. That's why you stay to it. Just
That's not it. The things that mattered from those times when no fucks given were you cooking from basically the apua'a. You had so many farmers that were giving you things. You had so many fishermen that were getting stuff out of the water. You have all of your farmers.
He wasn't doing it because he needed to put apua'a on a menu. He did it because those are the guys he wanted to support.
Absolutely. And you
Just like the
you
right-
hired the guys to grow the thing that you want. And when we kept meeting the people to put on those restaurants, and when I think back about the Feral Pig, which is, it's almost 7 years ago now, not to put a time frame on it, but it's like those relationships, the day my tomatoes got better because my Coca-Cola guy told me his aunties grew tomatoes in Kaneohe. Those were the days that made things better. When the cook's brother brought in an 80-pound ahi and we had to figure out how to move 64 pounds of ahi in the next couple of days. Those are the things that mattered. Those relationships are what mattered. It wasn't the no fucks given. The things that mattered, yeah, it was, because we were doing what we had to do. But it was the relationships that mattered. It was the
Well, it's the
ingredients.
passion of what you want to do, right? You gotta have the passion to do it, because if not, like someone would be like, I don't. That's too much work.
I gotta tell you though, honest to God, I love, I truly appreciate hanging out with all you beverage people, because what I've seen over time is I feel like, and chefs can roast me, but I feel like with chefs, we have our groups and we're tight, but then we're also seem fractured. And what I loved about watching all of you come up and the USBG, USBGC, USBG.
The United States
But you guys are tight.
The United States Bartenders Guild.
Oh yeah.
Plug in the back of the computer.
What's it called? Thunderbolt? Oh no, that's my nickname. Never mind, I'm just saying. But you guys are tight, and I feel like in Hawaii the chef crew is getting there, and we're certainly a lot tighter now. We support each other. But for myself personally, I always look to beverage as a way to model the hui of professionals that I wanted. In the way that it doesn't matter, you and I might not love every drink that you make, but we're all still on the same team. We're all trying to get to the same place. And you guys were my idols, my entire career.
Well, we were trying to figure out how to make drinks as well as you made
On
food,
the flip side of that, from the beverage side, we look to guys like you because we learned flavors, what worked together, what didn't, how to treat things.
Yeah.
I mean,
orange zest, orange bitters, orange liqueur, and orange juice in a drink builds on layers.
Totally layers, yeah. For me, it was, and I can certainly see that synergy, that what I loved on it, it's the same reason why I think with the work they do today, it wasn't about, because everyone asks you can open a restaurant, I said, no, probably not. To me, what I love about food and beverage and service and hospitality is the relationships, right? You just said it, that your cook's brother would have brought the tomatoes in. We put in at He'eia Pier, I might not have restaurants today, but I'm just as close to the He'eia gang as I was back then. I'm just as close with our farmers. I can still call and be like, hey, you know, we're doing a small event, can I get this? You know, I call you guys for beverage or for liquor, for a fundraiser, and you guys just give. And to me,
Right reason.
But not only that, I mean, your spirit is infectious. I mean, it just spreads out.
but I am because of you guys. You know what I mean? You guys treat me with that a lot. No, fuck that. No.
Fucking bullshit. We feed off of you.
All right, Gooch on the couch.
Go ahead.
Kyle, you're back in.
My guy.
Between two first.
No, so in the end, it's the same concept we always keep coming back to. We come back to within it, whether it's beer, we're talking about rum, we're talking about food, local, we're talking about community, collaboration, passion. It's the same thing. All these beers that we've been tasting every day, they work with other people. They work with local farmers. They work with other producers, other companies. Chefs, you work with farmers. You work with other companies. Bartenders, they work with everyone else. The community wins when everybody's involved.
We're all in this together.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
You know,
We live on an island with finite resources.
Did you guys? I don't know. There's the whole day I talked about, you know, time, and I think Mark sees things on that too. Can you imagine drinking a daiquiri as slow as you four?
Wait, can I?
Are you saying something?
bottoms up.
Wow, really?
Bottoms up.
Really?
Yes.
I remember my first time.
Hey, I'm just saying, hey, watch this,
Is
chef.
that massive done?
The Massive Foul.
That first sip, the way that taste blooms on that first sip is badass.
I had to suck you back in.
I just rope you back in. He's on the couch and he's roping you back in.
They suck me back in. And I'm gonna have a heart attack. Good reference, well played.
The third one today.
When's the last time you saw Godfather?
10 years ago at least.
When's the last time you saw?
Actually, very recently. On a flight about 3 weeks ago.
I still, when the kids, like at least once a year, I will still watch 1 through 3. I will marathon it after the kids go sleep. I'll stay up till like 6 a.m. and just watch it. So
You know,
good.
it's funny is I haven't watched Godfather, but I probably binge watched The Sopranos more often than Silvio Dante's.
Oh yeah?
Just when I thought I was up. They sucked
Yeah,
me.
I still watch
So
The
you get
Godfather.
The Godfather impersonations now.
I still watch that.
What do you drink when you're watching it?
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you drink
that's the
anything?
question.
I guess you stay up at
do
6
I
a.m.
drink?
You're not drinking shit, huh?
Yeah, no, you know, honest to God, at that time, I'm probably not drinking.
Hey, Chef, let's talk about drinking.
What?
First beer. Who'd you take it from? Where'd you drink it?
Oh,
Was it?
I got it. Marvin Buen Consejo, and
Shout out to Marvin.
he was Marvin Buen Consejo. I was probably in the 4th grade. And so this is excluding dad, right? This is excluding dad. This is excluding like dad.
You were like 7.
This is not like dad giving a sip.
Overachiever.
So it was Marvin Buen Consejo, and it was his graduation, 1984 grad party. Went over to his friends. Can I have my phone real quick? I have a picture. I'm pretty sure I have a picture. And it was a house party. It was a house party in Manoa, and
We can give this to Ruben. He can put it in.
in a car. Yeah, you know, I'll find it later. Yeah, I have a picture of me the next morning with the boys on this epic beer wall, and I was this young kid.
Just stacks of cans behind you.
It's a beer. I'll find the picture. It's amazing. It is me at the top with, I forget who it is that brought it. It's not Marvin, but it's a whole entire stairwell of a beer wall.
Send that to us. We're gonna send it to Ruben. He's gonna put it on the show.
Let's keep score because I want to hear these from you guys too. What's your first one, DB?
Mine, I mean, aside from the sips from Dad, which you always got, I'm pretty certain it was a Miller Lite that I grabbed it and like a dog getting a bowl. You ran to the backyard and got in the corner where nobody could see you and drank it real fast. House party kind, probably I'm the youngest of 3 boys, so I'm pretty sure my brother's at fault. Don't tell Mom. But they took me to graduation parties when I was way too young. And then
It's almost
Always graduation parties.
it was beer and goddamn Jose Cuervo with Lijimoy inside of it. So just the worst hangover you ever had in your life.
So Tim, is yours similar? What's your first?
Well, it's graduation parties.
Yeah.
Yep, graduation parties and like Red Dog.
Yeah. Oh, Red Dog. Oh my God! Yes.
Red Dog.
You know, mid 90s was Red Dog.
It was a thing.
Oh, it was.
Now from the Howley side of the table, you and I could talk a little too. What was yours?
Mine was totally different. Oh yeah. So first of all, I didn't drink at all in high school ever.
Nothing?
So
Nothing.
you had no fun then, right?
The only beer that I remember having before I turned 21, I went to a jazz concert in Detroit with some friends of mine in college. And I was 20, and they all ordered beers. And I thought if I didn't order a beer, someone was going to get carded. And 3 of the 4 of us weren't of age, so I just ordered a beer. And it was like a little beer, and I had
You guys all went and jumped off a bridge later then, right?
No, it wasn't
You
making.
cannot do the peer pressure thing, DB. That is not the joke for right now.
And then the next beer that I had, I turned 21. I was living in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I had my ID. I went to the store. I grabbed a 6-pack of Labatt's Blue Ribbon. And walked up and handed the woman the 6-pack of my card, and she didn't card me, and I was so disappointed. I had been waiting my whole life for this moment to be able to legally buy a beer. And I could have just done it the day before.
But at 21, did you still have your beautiful lock of hair?
Oh, I had I had plenty of hair back then, yeah, for sure.
No, but up top.
And you?
Back to the couch.
And you?
My first actual beer was MGD. Yes, it was. It was handed to me in the back of a yellow Honda Prelude that was parked by a now attorney that ran for political office in Colorado. And I love that the first time I ever got handed a beer was from him in the driver's seat handing me a beer.
I lost my virginity in the Yellow Prelude.
No one drove, but I was in the car.
And no attorney was involved. Or maybe there was, I don't know.
You know, I couldn't drink throughout high school because I was allergic to high school. I was allergic to I was allergic to high school. But
This is a YouTube series in itself. You ask everybody in the United, like all the famous people, like, what was your first beer? Like, what? Like, start talking.
Yeah, and where did you lose your virginity?
Obama, where he
Kyle
got
on the couch. That's
Kyle on the couch.
We're starting a new YouTube channel. It's called Kyle on the Couch.
I'm gonna ask.
No,
Yes.
Kyle in a yellow
And he's gonna come back but you know, we're loving it. We gotta get going. Thank you so much, Mark. Yep. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody. Hit the subscribe, hit the likes, hit the bell.
On the couch, hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
Hit it.